I think what's happening right now is a lot of people feel alone in whatever their struggle is. And so they're trying to stand up by themselves instead of potentially leaning on somebody else or asking someone else to take their hand and pick them up, because there's a shame around everyone's struggling right now. So I don't want to burden anybody. I don't want to be a bother. My situation's not, we do comparative suffering. My situation's not as bad as theirs, so I shouldn't be complaining. What people don't realize is that what they've been going through is they've been going through a grieving process and haven't acknowledged it. So the grief process with Elizabeth Kubler-Ross starts with shock. Like, wait, what? I mean, we've all had that experience in the past year, right? Of like, wait, what's happening? And then we go to a place of denial of like, no, this is a nightmare, right? This isn't actually, we're not actually locked down. We can't actually not leave our houses. And then we go to a place of frustration where it starts to really sink in that, oh, this is happening. And we feel angry when we get to that place. And then kind of the lowest point of this roller coaster curve is depression, where we have low energy, low mood, a lack of motivation. And when we're in that place, it's like we kick ourselves while we're already down. And we're like, get it together. Why haven't you done more with this time? You're lazy. I hear it all, that we're so hard on ourselves. Why haven't you written your next book or launched your podcast or grown your business exponentially? We don't recognize that, like, that's a grieving process. That depression, that sadness is a place that a lot of us just want to avoid because it sucks to feel that way. And instead of letting ourselves experience the fullness of that process of acknowledging when we're angry. I was angry. I went through all of that. I was in denial. Oh my gosh, if I'd left my house 5 minutes later, this car wouldn't have been there. If we'd gone a different route, right? How many times have we done that in the past year with anything? Oh, if only this hadn't happened then. And we try to like bargain and rationalize things. And part of what we need to do, part of building resilience is accepting instead of resisting what is. It's not saying I like it. I'm not like, I'm so glad I got hit by a pickup truck. No, I would prefer to have total mobility and not be limited and not be in physical therapy 10 months later, but I am. And so part of the reason I think people have struggled being resilient is because, one, we're not willing to let ourselves go through the fullness of that grieving process, give ourselves permission to feel, and get help from perhaps a therapist or a spiritual advisor or somebody else who can guide you through that and invite you to bring out whatever is in you instead of suppressing, suppress, silence, mute, right? We're muting our pain. We're muting all of that. So we end up feeling more and more alone. If we can let ourselves go through that grief process, which is not easy, if we can get the support and the help we need by reaching out to people in our lives that we trust or someone who's trained in how to navigate this, if we can begin to say to ourselves, okay, I may not like what is happening right now, but resistance takes a tremendous amount of energy. So I'm going to choose to accept it and then say, okay, now what?